Although I don't have my personal analysis on stylistics, I have collected some information from authentic sources for you. What is stylistics? In Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English, we find the meaning of stylistics as the study of style in written or spoken language. In Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, you will get the meaning of stylistics as the study of style and the methods used in written language. In other sources of Oxford dictionaries, stylistics is defined as the study of distinctive styles found in particular literary genres and the works of individual writers. I think before going to stylistics, we should say something about style. Abrams wants to say, style is traditionally the manner of linguistic expression in prose or verse. It's basically how speakers or writers say whatever it is which they say. The style of a writer or his specific work is usually analyzed in terms of the characteristic of the diction he or she used. In terms of choice of words, its sentence structure and syntax, use of figurative expression, pattern of rhythm, rhetorical device, integral sound, rhetorical intention, and some other formal features pertaining to it. In Longman Dictionary of Applied Linguistics, the definition of stylistics is given as stylistics is the study of that variation in language which is dependent on the situation in which the language is used and also on the effect of a writer or a speaker wishes to create on the reader or hearer. Although stylistics sometimes includes investigations of spoken language, it usually refers to the study of written language, including literary texts. Stylistics is concerned with the choices that are available to a writer and the reasons why particular forms and expressions are used rather than others. In a word, we can say stylistics is concerned with the study of style in language. In beginning theory, Berry says, it's a critical approach which uses the methods and findings of the science of linguistics in the analysis of literary texts. By the term linguistics is meant here the scientific study of language and the structures of language, rather than the learning of individual languages. Stylistics aims at showing how the technical linguistic features of a literary work contribute to its overall meaning as well as effects. In different way, you can say that stylistics is an approach to the analysis of texts, especially literary texts. Using linguistic description in our subjective context, we will devote ourselves exclusively to the analysis of literary texts. Stylistics spans the border of the two subjects. First, literature. Second, linguistics. Consequently, sometimes stylistics can look like either linguistics or literary criticism, and obviously it will depend upon where we are standing when we are looking at it. We should also bear in mind that, as stylistics isn't confined to the analysis of literature, it can also be applied equally to the expository prose, political speeches, advertisements, and so on. Thus, it assumes that the language of literature isn't a special case, whereas literary language can be analyzed just like any other kind to reveal precisely how effects are created. For this reason, stylistics concedes no special mysterious qualities to literary language. It's not seen as sacred or revered. It's simply the data on which the method can be put to use. However, what can we say in the light of previous talks and opinions of renowned theoreticians, critics, and linguists? Obviously, I should mention the name again, whose writings especially I have already used and will use here to tell about stylistics. They are Varlong, Berry, Short, Murphy and Rye, Martin Stephen, and Abrams. Now we can say with the tune of Martin Stephen, stylistics is a critical method that analyzes literary works on the basis of style. Its practitioners focus on analyzing a writer's stylistic choices with regard to diction, syntax, phonology, figurative language, vocabulary, and even spatial and graphic characteristics. Stylistics is part of the search for an objective, scientific method analyzing literary texts, and has been a strong influence since 1950s. As might be expected, stylistics concentrates on the style of the work and how an author chooses to express himself, and is therefore less concerned with what is being said. Stylistics is much more concerned with form than it is with content. The synopsis is: stylistics is the study of style. It can be described as an analysis of distinctive expression in language and the description of its purpose and effect. In the light of discussions of the saviors and veterans of this subject, we can see in the treatise where the analyses or researches on style are performed on the basis of its structural science relating to any genre of literature, poetry, fiction, or drama, etc., is stylistics. And it's such a type of study of text that is preceded by a cautious and prudent analysis of how the language devices utilized to accomplish their impression on the reader.